Well, I'm Margaret. I am one of the third year students here. Yeah. And what an honor and a privilege it is to share a few words about my college experience over the last few years. In my first year speech, for those of you who were around then, I shared that if you were to ask me when I graduated high school, Margaret, would you consider doing Bible college next year? I told you that my answer would have been no way. I then told you that if you were to ask me after my first year of uni, Margaret, would you do Bible college next year? I would have told you no. I then said, if you were to ask me that same question for the next couple of years, at that point, I would have just looked at you and just probably walked away. But when I moved to Brisbane, I had no plans to join a church again. I was living with my dad, nor did I have any plans to do Bible college. But I found myself at a spiritual emphasis night, and it was there that I actually received a word from God to consecrate myself for the year ahead and submit a year to Him. What I didn't know after walking across that stage in my first year was that it was the beginning of a journey that would lead me to right now. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that it was all smooth sailing and that I didn't break a few bones here and there, because I did. No, I actually broke my... Anyways. And apart from having to learn Greek and be tested on it every week, shout out Pastor Jeremy, one of the biggest challenges I faced over the last few years in college was having to die to myself. Now, if you don't know what I mean by that, you can talk to me later. But over the last few years, I began to realize what it truly meant to lay your life down, not just for one day, but for all the days, because of the decision that I made to follow Jesus. We can all agree it's not an easy one, but it's worth it, right? There have been many, many outstanding moments this year, and I know that I'm not alone when I say that this college year has been so rich with moments with God and each other that we'll never forget. You know, from the wealth of knowledge we have received from our classes and lecturers, to the life-changing, life-altering encounters we've experienced week in and week out. From our iSEE college retreat to our third-year trip to Israel, to the missions trip to PNG, to even, as Will said, our soapbox time. I really enjoy those times. But I've witnessed every week, my classmates overcome their fears and flourish into who God had been calling them to be. But one thing that has stood out for me this year is the resilience of each person in this cohort through every season. The resilience is seen in the way that they've stayed the course, even when it would have been easier to quit. The resilience is seen in the way they have showed up for each other and prayed for each other. The resilience is seen in the way they have loved and have hungered after Jesus despite what the enemy had planned for them. And I've loved being a part of that. Again, I've shared these words before, so bear with me. But in my culture, there is a word, matawhanga. Is that right? Which translates to the eye of the bay, or as the Western culture would put it, the beach. Now, the beach is a space that represents both the arrival and departure of Indigenous thinking, and not so much a tourist attraction as we all know it to be. The matawhanga is where the community witnesses both those who arrive and those who depart. Tears are shared in this space, garlands are offered, chants of honor and respect are offered here also, and it is also a space that informs of our ongoing life journey of discovering our purpose. So, to our iSEE College class of 2023, my friends, we're about to arrive at the end of our college journey for the year. For some of you, you're only just arriving exactly where you need to be. For others, you're departing into a new journey where with God, where college isn't in the picture anymore. But the matawhanga reminds us that we will always arrive somewhere, and from there we will depart again on a journey of discovering who we are in Jesus. It also reminds us that what the open sea holds for us is a mystery, that our only way through the sea is through our resilience and our continual reliance and faith in God. Be encouraged. Whatever direction you're headed in this next season, go with God, Go with boldness and go with confidence, knowing that He's with you. In closing, I just want to take this time to honor our iSEE College presidents, Pastor Paul and Pastor Joe Geerling. Thank you for your vision to see this college empower and release Spirit-led leaders. To our college staff, Pastor Pete, I know I'm not alone when I say that we wouldn't have been able to achieve what we have if it wasn't for your constant support, prayers, and friendship. To our families and friends, both within and out of church, thank you for releasing us to study this year. We see the sacrifice and we honor you for that. And lastly, to our college class of 2023. We did it, guys. I'm so proud of you all, and I'm excited to see where God takes us next. Thank you.